Sunita was so macho. The party continues after this.
This is Radio 2.
On BBC Sounds. And on your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio 2.
News at 8 o'clock. This is Jason Kay. Police in Nottingham have charged a man with 3 counts of murder and 3 counts of attempted murder after this week's knife and van attacks in the city. Valdo Kalokani, who's 31, is accused of fatally stabbing Barnaby Webber, Grace O'Malley Kumar and Ian Coates in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Our Midlands correspondent Navtej Johal is in Nottingham.
Valdo Kalokana will appear before magistrates here in Nottingham tomorrow morning. We've also learned today that 2 of those injured in the city centre after being hit by a van are now in a stable condition in hospital, while a 3rd victim has now been discharged.
The COVID inquiry has been hearing from health experts who said the country had depleted public services and that the health of the poorest in society was in decline before the pandemic. Professor Sir Michael Marmot from University College London was one of those experts.
The impact of the pandemic is very much influenced by inequality, pre-existing inequalities in society, including inequalities in health. Action, it's not just specific pandemic planning. It's not just whether there's a report somewhere in government about planning for a pandemic. You've got to plan for better health and narrower health inequalities.
Greek officials are denying reports that suggest one of the worst migrant boat disasters in the Mediterranean in recent years was caused when Coast Guards tried to attach a rope to the vessel. Almost 80 people are confirmed dead, but hundreds more remain missing after a fishing boat travelling from Libya to Italy sank. 9 suspected people smugglers have been detained. The first person to lead the police watchdog, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, has been charged with sexual offences against a girl under the age of 16 in the 1980s. Michael Lockwood, who's now 64, is accused of 3 counts of rape and 6 of sexual assault. He stepped down from the IOPC last year after it emerged he was under investigation. The Swiss cyclist Gino Marder has died a day after being involved in a high-speed crash during the Tour de Suisse. The 26-year-old fell into a ravine. The race doctor Roland Kretsch said that despite receiving fast medical help, his injuries were too severe.
Everyone helped. The rescuers were there immediately. The time from the accident to first aid was minimal. It was probably a traumatic brain injury. There was probably oxygen deprivation and brain damage. There were little or no apparent injuries.
At the Ashes, England declared on 393 for 8 near the end of the first day's play in the first test against Australia at Edgbaston. Joe Root scored a century. Australia ended the day on 14 without loss in reply. And the weather, cloud and showers continuing to build and persist across western areas tonight, falling heavy and thundery in places. And that's the BBC News at 3 minutes past 8.
Radio 2. Honey, get this party started.
Michelle Visage.
BBC Radio 2.